Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into an incredible ancient story about a king who could literally make it rain gold with just a single thought. But this isn't just some fantasy tale. It's from the Maharatnakuta Sutra, and it holds a really critical lesson about a trap that's waiting inside all of our minds, no matter how much we achieve.
So, the whole thing kicks off with this really deep question. It basically frames our entire existence as something, well, dreamlike, not nearly as solid as it feels. Right away, it challenges us to look past the day-to-day and ask, what's actually real here?
And this is the core idea we're going to be digging into. It's not just some abstract philosophy. It's meant to be a practical way to see our own actions and their consequences. And to really hammer this point home, the Buddha tells a pretty wild story from one of his own past lives.
So, let's meet King Boundless Fame. Now, this guy wasn't just any king. He was what's called a turn-wheel king, which basically means his karmic bank account was so full that his thoughts weren't just ideas. They were reality-bending forces. Just by the power of his good karma, all he had to do was think it. And boom, instantly a rain of beautiful, fragrant water fell across all 4 continents as a gift to everyone. Then, get this, he wishes for a rain of amazing, heavenly flowers. Can you just imagine the entire world suddenly covered in blossoms that just appeared out of thin air, all because he wanted them to?
And it didn't stop there. With another thought, the most beautiful heavenly garments came falling from the sky, wrapping everyone up in these incredible celestial fabrics. His power seemed to have no limits.
I mean, his control over the physical world was just off the charts. So next up, a rain of pure silver. He made the entire kingdom rich in an instant, just by thinking about it.
And then, for the grand finale, a rain of pure gold. Think about that. No need for mines, no treasuries, no economy. The universe just gave it to him, creating wealth from the sheer power of his mind. So, you get the picture, right? This king had it all. He didn't just conquer the world, he literally flew up to the heavens with his entire army in tow. There, he's welcomed by the gods, made an equal, and given half a throne to rule right next to the heavenly king Indra for ages. This was it. The absolute peak of what a being could achieve.
But, even in paradise, surrounded by unbelievable bliss, the mind can be a very tricky place. And after what felt like forever, living this perfect dream, things were about to go south, fast.
That's all it took. One single thought. After all those years of sharing power, this tiny little seed of greed starts to grow in his mind. He wanted it all. The half he already had suddenly wasn't enough.
And the fallout? It was instant, and it was devastating. The second that thought of greed popped into his head, all his karmic merit just evaporated. In a flash, he and his whole army fell from heaven. His body, which was made for that celestial world, couldn't even handle the regular old air back on Earth.
So there he is, dying in the very kingdom he used to rule, a total stranger to its air and its food. Another king finds him, and realizing something momentous is happening, asks him for one last piece of wisdom to leave behind for the world. And with his last breath, the king basically writes his own epitaph. His power, his wealth, his unimaginably long life, all of it gone, wiped out by that simple, destructive urge to just have more. What a lesson to learn, and at the highest possible price.
Okay, so this is where the story goes from being just a cautionary tale to a really personal lesson, especially for anyone on a spiritual path.
So after laying out this incredible story of rise and fall, the Buddha turns to his audience and asks them, so who was this guy? Who was this flawed, powerful king? Was it just some story about somebody else?
An answer is a total bombshell. The Buddha says, don't think that was someone else. That was me. Wow, right? This wasn't some other guy's mistake. This was a lesson the Buddha himself had to learn the hard way on his own long, winding road to enlightenment. It makes the whole story so much more powerful. And this brings everything full circle, right back to that idea at the beginning. The king's whole life, the golden reign, the heavenly throne, the disastrous fall, it was all just part of that dreamlike reality. His attachment to the stuff in the dream, his greed for more of the illusion, that's what caused all the suffering.
So, what are we supposed to do with this? What's the practical lesson here? Well, the Buddha turns his own life story into a roadmap. This is the escape plan. This is how you wake up from the dream. It's not about getting more stuff inside the dream. It's about waking up from it completely by tackling the very same greed that brought a king down from heaven.
In the end, this story of King Boundless Fame really is just a mirror held up to our own minds. It forces us to ask, what are the heavenly thrones we're chasing in our own lives? What promotions, what possessions, what status? And maybe more importantly, what's the one little thought of greed that could make our own beautiful dream come crashing down? That's a powerful question to carry with you.